Well, hello, everyone. This is Jody Muirhead. I am on your local Santa Clara Unified School Board, and I'm here to talk about a specific topic that's coming up on this Thursday, September 9th agenda. So item D.1 on the agenda is our first public hearing having to do with our transition to trustee areas for our school board members. So I thought I would just give you a short little introduction into this topic and what it means for you, members of the community, and then what it means for board members, and how you can give input on this process that we are now going through. So the state has this law called California Voting Rights Act that says that elected bodies need to have representatives that can be representative of the makeup of the community. So it's not okay if you have a predominantly one race or ethnicity in your city or school district, but there's a lot of hurdles for somebody from that community to get elected to this government body. So we've had districts and cities around the state where maybe they have a high Hispanic population, but because they're voted on at large, it's too expensive for somebody from that community, as an example, to get elected. And most commonly, it's that the white male gets elected over somebody of some other ethnicity. So the state law says that if that's the case, then you need to move to a voting method that is by areas. So you see the cities around us have just recently done that. So the city of Santa Clara did that a couple of elections ago, where they've broken up into 6 areas, 6 districts, and then the mayor is at large. And Sunnyvale, same thing in the last election, they transitioned to that same method, 6 different districts plus an at-large mayor. And a lot of school districts are also doing this, where they're having their complete district be broken into trustee areas. The law says that the trustee areas need to be approximately equal population of total population. That's why we're doing it now, because we just did the census, and so it's very convenient that we know what the population is. And you'll be hearing, or maybe you've already heard, about cities and state legislature. They're all going through this process now with the recent census to redraw lines because people have moved. So Santa Clara is going through this for the first time. We've currently have an at-large system. We have kind of this weird hybrid because we have 3 trustee areas. The board members have to live in those trustee areas, but then everyone votes on all of the trustee areas. It's very confusing, very complicated. We're like the only ones left who do it this way. So it makes sense that we are transitioning to this new method. We will have 7 trustee areas of about the same size located throughout the district. So here's how you get involved. Coming up on Thursday is our first public hearing, and there will be 5 of them all together. And at those public hearings, the first 2 are for community members to give input on what you think makes sense for these, how we're going to draw the lines. So we'll have a demographer that we've hired listening in, and you can give input. So you might say things about, this major freeway, like 101 is a major freeway. So maybe we want the trustee areas to divide north and south of 101. That's one example. Or maybe you have another street in your area that's a more major street that you think it should be divided by. Or maybe that it's a geographic boundary, like we have creeks going through our city. So maybe it would make sense to have the trustee lines go through these, along the creeks lines. Or maybe it's you want to think about, well, where's the city drawn their lines? Maybe we want to have similar lines so that if you're in the same city district, then you would be in the same school district boundary, you know, because the school district's boundaries is much bigger than one city. We have a big chunk, most of Santa Clara, but then we also have a big chunk of Sunnyvale, a chunk of San Jose, and a little piece of Cupertino. So you could say, well, maybe where the Sunnyvale draws their lines, we want to look at those. Or maybe you want to say that where the attendance boundaries for our elementary schools are, for instance. So you could say you want, you're interested in having trustee, a trustee represent several elementary schools plus the associated middle and high schools that those schools feed into. Or maybe you want to say, no, that doesn't seem like a good idea at all. I want like multiple trustees to cover my attendance area. Some of the districts, school districts in the area have done like these slices so that one trustee slice covers multiple elementary, just attendance boundaries. So this isn't going to affect what school your child goes to. It's not going to affect how your child feeds from one school to another. It's just going to affect where board members need to reside in order to get elected. So right now I have to live in area 2 and I get, elected as an area 2 representative. Instead, the areas will be much smaller and there'll be 1/7 of the district. The board member will have to live in that district, respond to that district, but very important, this is really important, is that we still, as board members, will represent the entire district. So a couple of main things we do, the budget, we'll still be looking at the budget for the entire school district, not just for our area, and board policies will apply for the entire district. So it's really important to me, at least, that our board members represent the entire school district, not just their area and the schools that are in their area. We're looking for input on how to draw these lines between the different board members' trustee areas. So that's what the hearing this Thursday is about. Think about it. If you have some thoughts about how we might draw those lines, where they might go in our school district, then Thursday night at 6:30, as close to that as I can make it, will be the first hearing. There'll be another one September 23rd with the same idea of giving us input. Then at that point, the demographer goes off and takes that input and starts drawing the maps. And then once the demographer's done that, we have 3 more hearings set up through the fall. The last one's on December 9th. And those last 3 hearings, you'll be able to see the maps and make comments, and the demographer can make changes based on those comments. December 9th is when we make the decision about which map we're going to use. So I hope that you will think about it. If there's any input that you want to share, that you'll join the Zoom this Thursday, September 9th. The directions are on the santaclarausd.org website under About Us, and then Board of Trustees. There's information there about how to give input to the board. And I hope you will share your thoughts. Okay, this took a little bit longer than I thought. But if you have any comments about these videos or have input that you want to give me, I'm always welcome to that. jmuirhead@scusd.net, or you can find all the board members' emails and contact information on the website, santaclarausd.org. Okay, thanks so much, and we'll be talking to you soon.